Hi there everybody, I'm Adriana and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be talking to you guys today because as you probably know from the title of this video, I have some really big news. So, after a long semester of applying and interviewing and waiting and praying and hoping, I can finally say that I have received and accepted an offer with Universal Orlando Resort in Florida to be their content engagement intern. So I am really excited about this whole thing, and I'll probably say really excited about 30 times during this video. But it has been such a long process to get here. It's been an unexpected process. It has been a wild process, and I am so incredibly grateful to just have been considered for this and offer this and just be trusted with this position, and I am absolutely thrilled and I can't wait to share you guys all of the details. But before I get into all the details of how this happened, here's a little life update. So there was the biggest one, but with that comes some other little updates. So with this internship, it is in Orlando, so I did have to leave the University of Florida. I am still a student. I transferred to UF Online during the semester, so now I am still a UF student, but I will just be working online and finishing my degree online with that program. So I'm still a public relations student in the College of Journalism and Communications, just cyberly. With that means I also had to move out of Gainesville, and thankfully my family lives in Central Florida, so I can live at home while doing my internship, so I don't have to pay for an apartment or rent in Orlando, which is really nice because that would have been a lot. But with that, my family actually moved into a new house, so that may be the reason why this background looks very different to you if you've been watching my channel for a while. We practically just moved in time for Christmas. I'm still not totally like moved in and decorated and all that, so that's why things are a little crazy back there. Lighting situation's a little weird, but once I do get fully settled in, I'll be sure to share that with you guys. But those are the big updates. Universal intern, UF Online, moved out of Gainesville, back at home for who knows when. I am set to walk that stage and graduate in May, but even though I'm walking and doing graduation, I don't technically graduate until August because I do have one more class after I walk, so there's that. But now that we have that update out of the way, now to talk about this. So I'm so excited. I said it again, on Monday, so the Monday before Christmas, I went to Universal and I signed all the new hire paperwork and got the ball rolling, and I have orientation on January 6th and my official start date is January 7th, and I'm thrilled. Every time I stopped and paused to think, I'm just gonna say I'm thrilled. But so yeah, this process, I did not expect this to happen. If you're new to my channel, hello, welcome. It's so nice to talk to you. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you don't know me very well, or if you haven't seen any of my videos before, in the spring, I took a whole semester off of school to do the Disney College program. I was a children's activities hostess at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I had such a wonderful, fun time. You can see my whole experience. I vlogged the whole thing on this channel. And then after my program ended, I moved back into my mom's house, and I did online school from home, and I worked on YouTube and some personal branding things. And then after the summer, I went back to Gainesville, moved back in, did the whole college thing back at UF. I did marketing internship with Charmant Properties in Gainesville. I was living with my best friends again. I was in my sorority and everything was great. And my plan originally was to keep it just that way, live in the college life through the spring semester, and then not even think about post-grad plans, not even think about internships until January. And then my plan was originally to only apply to Disney and Universal internships in January for the summer and however on after graduation. That was the original plan. Obviously, things have changed. So now, this is kind of what happened. So at the end of the summer, a friend of mine, she was the social media intern with Universal in the spring, so spring 2019. Also, if you don't know, a content engagement intern is essentially a social media intern, but Universal calls their social media team their content engagement team. So I will be helping this team creating, curating, and collecting different social content for our social media platforms, and I will be helping with different events and covering those events as well. Obviously, there's a little bit more to the role than that, but I haven't started it yet, so I don't really know the ins and outs just yet. But once I do start, I will give you a video all about what the job actually entails and all of my experiences and vlogging that with you. But back to the story. So she was a social media intern with Universal in the spring of 2019. So while I was doing my Disney college program, she was working at Universal. And towards the end of the summer, towards the end of her internship, she reached out to me and said that I should apply because they are looking for another social media intern. At the time, I had already had my eye on this internship. I have been stalking it for a while. I've even applied before in the past, but I was like really inexperienced then. And when she told me this, I was like, this is like the time. Like I was just like overwhelmed because I was like, okay, like this is like a hot potato. I felt like I was playing hot potato and I just had like this opportunity just like burning in my hands, but I couldn't do anything about it. And so as much as I wanted to apply, and I like felt even better because she told me that I should apply, I just knew in my heart that I needed to go back to Gainesville for the fall. I had already committed to an internship. I had already committed to a position in my sorority, and I just knew that I needed to go back. And so I had to just swallow that hard pill and go back to school. And I was really excited to go back to school, though. I felt like it was the right thing, and I still do feel like it was the right thing. So I went back to school and kind of just had to forget about it. Now, when I went back to school, I was doing everything. It was great. It was awesome. It was a lot of hard work, but I was doing great. And it came time, I was helping my boyfriend apply for internships for the spring because he graduated in December. And so while I was doing that, I came across a Disney internship for Disney Fairy Tale Weddings and Honeymoons, and I got really excited about it. And against my better judgment, I was like, okay, even though my plans were originally not to apply to anything until January, I think I should apply to this one because it excites me, which is a good thing. 2, it would be a good idea to get my feet wet, understand the experience, go through the experience of applying for these kinds of internships now, so that when it comes to like the serious time in January where I really, really want something, that I'm prepared and I can be more successful. So that's how I rationalized that to myself. And so I did that, and a taste of the experience is exactly what I got. I was offered a phone screen for that internship, and that just kind of blew my mind. I'd never been considered for anything like this before, so I was like, oh, what? I was just like mind blown about the whole thing. Did the phone screen, and then a little bit later, I saw another internship with Disney, applied to that one, got a phone screen, and then during that phone screen, my recruiter put me in consideration for one of their social media positions as an intern. And so at this point, I was like on cloud 9. I was in consideration for 3 positions with one of my dream companies, and it wasn't even the time that I was really considering applying for internships yet. So I was just over the moon and also very stressed out at the same time. And so this was all going on, and I was like, okay, so this looks like it might happen now. Like I felt in my heart that something was gonna happen. And so I was like, okay, I need to figure something out because I obviously can't stay in Gainesville if I get one of these. So I went to go see my guidance counselor, and then she suggested that I transfer to UF Online. So I transferred to UF Online. I got into UF Online because that you basically have to apply like as if you're getting to university all over again. I got into UF again. So I'm just being silly, but I did get into UF Online. So now I am part of the UF Online PR program. Instead of having to do in-person classes, I have the option to do all online classes, which I'm so happy about because I applied to a couple internships for the spring that are in Orlando, and I'm really, really hoping I get one. So this will make it much, much easier to finish my degree and not prolong this thing any longer. So I got into UF Online and worked out. So now I'm in UF Online, and once that happened, I was like, okay, something's definitely gonna happen now. Like I don't think I would get in if something wasn't meant to happen for the spring semester. So shortly after getting into UF Online, I found out that I was sent the dreaded NLIC email, which is no longer in consideration. If you've ever applied for Disney College Program or for Disney Professional Internships, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I was sent that dreaded NLIC email, meaning that I was no longer in consideration for the Disney Fairy Tale Weddings and Honeymoons internship, and that was the end of that. And I actually shared with you guys in one of my videos, I was disappointed but not sad about it. Like, I was conflicted and like kind of upset, but like I wasn't sad at all. I was still really hopeful that something was gonna happen. Like my dream didn't die with that internship, basically. You know, like I want a internship with Disney in like communications and social media, or a marketing or marketing strategy and analytics or something like that, because those are all the things that I'm good at, or like any sort of content creation, like anything like that, video production, any of that, that's what I'm good at and that's what I love. So I would love any sort of internship in that, and so that's the dream. And I'm not going to say that like my dream died with this internship, because that's not the case at all. And yeah, I think I just kind of wanted to bring it up because like sometimes things don't work out the way you plan, but I'm not upset. Like I'm a little disappointed, but I'm not, I feel like a parent, like not upset, I'm just disappointed. But yeah, I'm not sad. I am a little bit disappointed because obviously I wanted it, but I don't feel like it's over. Like, I mean, that could just be me being in denial because obviously I really want this, but like I really don't feel like it's over, and I still have those other 2 that I applied for, and I applied for a universal one. So like I have a lot of hope, and I have a lot of, I just feel very hopeful. And like I just feel in my soul that like God is like lining things up. He's preparing things, he's preparing me, he's making a way, and he's doing something, and I can't see it yet, and I don't know what it is yet, but I know he's good, and I know it's gonna be good. Whether it was with Disney or something else, I just knew that something was coming at this point, and I knew that I just had to prepare myself for it. So shortly after this, I was scrolling on LinkedIn and I saw a post come up, and it was an old post from one of the content engagement managers at Universal, and I think he's also the hiring manager, saying that they're looking for content engagement interns for the spring semester. So I had seen this post before when I was scrolling, but I didn't think anything of it at the time because I had no intentions of applying for anything until January. So once this came up again, I was like, God, like, should I do something about this? But it had said it was posted 2 months ago, so I was like, ugh, they probably already found someone, it's probably like the process is over, and so I just kind of didn't think about it. But then I just kept thinking about it, and I messaged my friend who was their social media intern in the spring, and I was like, hey, do you know anything about this? Like, did they already hire someone? Should I even bother? Blah, 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 blah. Because even though I thought this, I looked on the Universal website and it was still posted. And she had told me, she was like, there tends to be like differences between HR and like what we have. Like sometimes there's miscommunication, so it could still be up and they could have hired someone, or they could still be looking for someone. And so I was like, okay, well, it can't hurt to email and send in my application. You know, like it can't hurt. Nothing bad can happen by applying anyways. So I did, had no intentions. I truly thought they had already hired someone. And so I apply. After a while, and I would say probably like a month, at this point I'm still in consideration for 2 Disney internships, but still hadn't had the Blue Jeans interview, which is kind of like a Disney Skype. I had already had my phone screen, but none of that, and I was waiting for that, and I'm sitting in the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A, and I get an email from a Universal recruiter saying that she wants to phone screen me, and I was shook, to say the least, because I truly thought they already had someone. And of course I said yes. So I scheduled the phone screen, did the phone screen, and I felt okay. I didn't feel spectacular about it. I just felt like I did okay. And literally a couple hours later, she emails me asking me to schedule an in-person interview. Mind you, I hadn't had a Blue Jeans with Disney yet, so I hadn't had any face-to-face interviews in a while. They'd all been over the phone, which is kind of really exhausting if you guys have done a lot of phone interviews, because I'm such a face-to-face kind of person, hence why I do YouTube. I love to see like interaction, and it's just, you just can't get a feel for what they think of you over the phone. So I was thrilled to finally get to see real people in real life, and I was like, yes, I will do this interview. At this point, I was like, oh my God, I'm in consideration for Disney internships too, and a Universal internship. Like, this is the dream. Like, this is my dream. Like, I was so overwhelmed with gratitude, I didn't even know what to do with myself. And then that gratitude turned into anxiousness, which is bad. Shouldn't have let it turn into that. But I was like, oh my goodness, what if I got both of them? I had a big head, I guess, because like that's a big deal, like to get both, but that was a far stretch. But it was a thought in my mind, and I was like, oh my God, what if I got both of them? What would I do? What would I pick? And so that was in my mind. And so I went to the Universal interview, and the interview process was very different from what I'm used to. So I had 3 back-to-back interviews in person at like the Universal executive offices. And so it was really, really cool. I got to meet the team in the place that they work, and they were all so incredibly nice and so encouraging. And I left the interview feeling just so weird. Like, not a bad weird, but it was just such a hard to read situation, because I was like, this is bizarre. Like, that went like so well. Like, I felt like I had it, but I also felt like it's almost like I knew that it was gonna be a rough road ahead without knowing it. Hi everybody, so it is 4:13, well, 4:09. It is 4:09 now, and I am done with my interview. Sorry I couldn't really show you anything. I just didn't wanna risk it. I was not about to bring this camera in there, like, at all. Not gonna happen. But and I got a little lost at first, so I really couldn't show you guys much at all, but I will tell you about it. So it was a really awesome experience. You know, everybody was really nice, like really, really nice, like incredibly nice, like unbelievably nice, and like it was just a good time. Like, it was a little intimidating, I will say that. I don't know, it's just like, it's a big company, and so it's definitely a different experience than what I'm used to, but I am hopeful, and like I really enjoyed talking to all of the people that I talked to. I think on a personal level, I think I really stood out as far as like my personality. I think that definitely shined through. Now it's just a matter of, do they think I can do the job? I think I can do the job. I know I can do the job. But do they think I can do the job is a question. So now we wait and now we see. I just like hate like the feeling after I don't know. I just like, I feel like I didn't sell myself as good as I could have. But hopefully it was good enough. So we'll see. It's only the millionth application so far. I would really love this internship with you guys. Like, I would really love it. I know this is kind of like the first you guys have heard about it, just because it's happened really fast. Like, I got asked to interview like a phone screen last Tuesday, and then the same day they asked me to come in and meet them this Tuesday, today. So it's all been happening really fast. Like, I threw in an application like late in the season even. Like, I didn't even think that it was going to have a chance, because I thought it was too late. I was like positive they'd already hired someone, so it like wasn't even like really like a thing I thought about. But here we are, and I'm excited. I'm hopeful. I'm trying not to be too hopeful, because I don't really feel the best about like how I sold myself, but I just hope that everything sounded good and they just really got a feel for me. And I'm talking a lot, but yeah, so now we wait. But in the meantime, it is 4:12, so I literally stopped at a Tijuana Flats because it's Taco Tuesday, so I'm gonna go get myself some tacos, eat myself some tacos, and then pee, because I have to pee so bad, and then get on the road. So time to go back to Gainesville, and I honestly just can't wait to get into my pajamas. That's really what I really want to do. So we will see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But let's go get some tacos. But something that did happen is, after I left there, I like had a conversation with myself, and I was like, okay, even if I got the Disney internship, I would say no, and I would take the Universal one. And this was like the weirdest, like, uncharacteristic thing happening in my mind, like, of me, because if you guys know me, I'm a big Disney girl. Like, you would think that I would take the Disney one hands down. But the ones that I was in consideration for, even though they sounded super cool and I would absolutely love to do them, I knew that this Universal internship was just gonna be so much more fun. And it's just like, I just knew it was gonna be more fun. I knew it was gonna be like a valuable experience. And what's different about Universal internships and Disney internships is Universal, you can only do them while you're currently enrolled in school and undergrad. While Disney, you can do Disney internships up to a year after you graduate. So I could do Universal until I graduate and then do a Disney internship afterwards at any point within that year. So I was like, okay, this is like my only chance to do a Universal internship ever. And the internship that I'm in consideration for is so fun. Like, it sounds so fun, it excites me, and it just sounds like such a good experience. And so I had already had this conversation with myself, and I was like, okay, like, if I get this internship, I'm saying no to Disney. Like, I'm not doing Disney for this spring. Mind you, if I get the opportunity, I will totally apply to do Disney internships in the future. Not dissing Disney at all. Still love Disney, still would love to work for them someday. But I just felt like at this point in my life, like, Universal was the right place for me. And so I come to terms with that. And I emailed my recruiter, and I was like, thank you so much for, like, talking to me and all this, blah, blah, blah. Just basically just thanking her for the interview. And she emailed me back. It was great. And she told me I should hear back the next week. So the next week rolls around, it's Sunday, and it is right before Thanksgiving. I'm about to leave on a cruise with my family for Thanksgiving, and I was like, oh my goodness, she might email me saying I got it, and I might be in the middle of the ocean and not might be able to do anything, like all of this craziness. And on Sunday, I'm packing to go on this cruise, and I'm scrolling through LinkedIn, and I see that somebody else, a girl that I actually follow on Instagram, said that she got the internship, the content engagement internship, and I was like, what? I was like crushed because I thought that meant it was over for me. Like, I thought that she just got it and that was gonna be it. And I like cried about it for a little while and everything, and then I kind of had to pull myself back together, and I was like, okay, let's think about this, because it just didn't make sense to me, like how I felt so encouraged during the interview, and I felt so like hopeful afterwards. And I'd already come to terms, I already got into UF Online. I'm like, too much has fell into place for this to be over this way. Especially with my recruiter telling me that I was going to hear back the next Wednesday. So I messaged the girl, and I'm like, hey, like, congratulations, so happy for you, because it's totally true. I'm like thrilled for her, and I'm thrilled to work with her. And I asked her when she found out that she got it. And she found out that she got the internship the day after I interviewed, before my recruiter even emailed me back telling me that I was going to hear back about the internship the following Wednesday. So I was like, okay, this can only mean a couple things. This could either mean they interviewed me and they still liked you better, so they gave you the internship, which sucks for me, but okay. Or it means, which that scenario didn't make sense, because my recruiter messaged me saying I'd hear back the next week after the time that she got the internship. Or it could mean that they're potentially hiring a second intern and they had me in consideration for that second internship position. So I had convinced myself that there was a second internship position and that it was gonna be mine, because it just didn't make sense for it to not be mine. And so that's kind of what I held on to. I went on my cruise, suffered a little bit because I couldn't hear anything, and then when I got back, I didn't hear anything. Like, I had no emails about it. And I was like, oh man, I got ghosted. Like, oh man, like I didn't get it. But what I did get that Friday coming back from the cruise was a no longer in consideration email from Disney from both of the internships. So I was completely out of consideration for Disney. Universal was the only thing left on the table. Mind you, I wasn't really upset about not being in consideration for Disney anymore, because like I said, I had already said that I was going to take Universal anyways. So I was like, okay, this just means that Universal has to happen. Like, this has to happen. So I'm waiting, email my recruiter, and then on the following Tuesday, I think, she emailed me back. And then from there on, she was in pretty constant communication with me about the process, how they were trying to get a new internship position approved. And I was like, okay, she wouldn't be talking to me this much if I not get it yet, you know? Like, if I wasn't a strong candidate for this, I don't think I would be in this constant communication with her. And I super appreciated the communication, because like, if I had to wait that long and like not know a thing, I would have been freaking out, and I was freaking out anyway, so even more. And so that was happening, and so it was just a matter of waiting for this internship to get approved, pretty much. And then it would either get approved or it would fall through, or it would get approved and they'd either pick me or pick somebody else. So there was just a lot up in the air. And at this point, my internship back in Gainesville at Trimark, they had offered me to stay another semester and it would become a paid internship. So I was like, whoa, like, this is crazy. And at this point, I was like, okay, truly there is no bad thing that could come out of this. Like, I either stay in Gainesville living exactly the same way I am now, but I'm getting paid to do the internship that I'm already doing, which is a good thing. And I love the internship that I was at, so that's a good thing. Or I like have a dream come true and I get to work with Universal in Orlando. So it was like amazing opportunity, and then like good opportunity. You know, like there is no bad thing at all. Like this was great, that was amazing. And so that's just what I was waiting for. And so I was waiting a really long time and praying a ton and hoping, but I just knew in my heart that it had to be mine. Like I knew it had to be, but even though that I knew it had to be mine and I knew it was gonna work out for me, like deep down, I also let myself get super anxious about it for like no reason. Like I just stressed myself out about it way too much. Considering all of the signs that were there that it was gonna be mine, had I just listened to my gut like I was supposed to. And so lots of waiting happens, and I was hoping to find out before the semester ended so that I could let my internship know I won't be coming back, this and that. Semester ends, I still don't know a thing. And so I hadn't had to leave and be like, hey, I'll keep you guys updated on what happens. And so the following week, the Wednesday after, my recruiter emails me and she says, hey, what time is a good time to talk and what's a good number to reach you at? And when I got that email, I knew that that was it. Like I knew it was the moment, I knew it was the day, I knew what was happening. And even though I had told myself for like the past couple of weeks, like today's the day, like I knew that today was the day. And so that's exactly what happened. I gave her my phone number and I told her that I was just available whenever. I was like, you can call me when I'm sleeping for all I care. As long as it's good news, I don't care when you call me. And so she called me and I found out that I got the internship. And it was awesome. And so she basically started the conversation like, I have really good news for you. And I was like, do you really? Is it true? Is it possible? And so she offered me the internship. And since then, I have been preparing and I am so incredibly excited. Ooh, okay. No, I'm thrilled. Thank you so much. Yes, I know it's been a process for you, so I appreciate it. But yes, I'm thrilled about this.
Yay, good. Okay, so you are verbally accepted?
Yes, that is a big yes for me.
Okay.
Take a shot every time I say excited if you need to, but it is really exciting and I am pumped about it. So that's where we are now. I did my hire paperwork and I am just waiting patiently for January 6th to come so I can start this internship, and I'm thrilled. So that's where I'm at right now. That is the update. That's where I've been this semester. I've definitely kept you guys in the dark about this whole thing because I was also in the dark about it. I really had no idea if it was going to go through or not, so I didn't want to share it and excite you guys for no reason. But now we can all get excited because I will be working at Universal and I'm going to take you guys along for the journey with me as much as I can and tell you guys about what I'm doing just a week in my life. So a lot more vlogging so you guys can see a lot more of like what I'm actually doing in my life. And I'm just excited. I'm feeling really hopeful for 2020, feeling really hopeful, and I'm feeling just really inspired and ready to like really kick YouTube into high gear. Alright everybody, so those were all of the clips and that is it for this life update. Sorry it was a little long. I just really wanted to give you guys the whole story, but for the millionth time, I'm very excited, very thankful, and incredibly grateful just to go forward with this new opportunity and have this opportunity and be able to have this experience. And I'm excited to share it with you guys, and I hope you guys are too. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being just the best supporters and encouragers. I love getting messages from you guys and all of the comments just make my day. So thank you so much, and I can't wait to go through this with you. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!